lot of countries, the statistics on missing children is not even kept. Oh my God, they doing this shit worldwide. And they did this. The article I'm reading just straight up said it. A lot of statistics in these in other countries are not even kept, and we know what those countries are.
You know how
We
many
know what those
immigrants give
are.
their children away or sell
We know
them?
what those countries are. Caribbean and African. Looking at you.
All of
And
them.
just
Don't
being
sleep.
40 plus
Don't
years
sleep.
old, being a black American, like our women, if a black woman ain't on drugs and out here in the streets, or she doesn't have some mental disorder, she know where the fuck her kids is at. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't. Our black women don't do that. They know where the fuck their kids is at all times. Like, and you better be at home when she tell your ass to be at home. Like, even if you do get a little freedom and get to go out with your friends for a little while, like we don't just know. You don't even get no chance to kidnap our kids or shit like that. Like that shit just don't go down in our community like that for real.
I did walk away with a white man one time when I was 5, and he took me to the store and bought me candy and walked me back. And when I got back home, well, we weren't home. It was me, my mom, and my stepdad. And I don't know where we were, but we were staying in a hotel. And when I walked back, it was police everywhere. But I guess he saw them before, we walked back. He said, "You go on." And my mother, you know how black moms are? She was all like, "Oh, my baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, la, 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 la." As soon as we got in the house.
I'd have killed that motherfucker. He'd have fucked around and got
No, they
killed.
they never saw him. No, they never saw him. He saw what was going on. That man never touched me or anything. He just said that I was cute, walked me to the store, bought me a big old bag of candy. We were walking back, and I guess, I'm a kid, I'm oblivious. But when we got back, everybody was out there. My mother was like, "Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah." Man, we got inside and she lit my ass up. All that sweetness went out the
But
window.
as an adult though, he know good and well he ain't supposed to be walking with somebody's child.
Well,
Even
he
if he
probably,
did do
I
the
don't know
right
what the
thing,
man,
he doesn't know your family.
no, you're missing my point. I don't know what the man was going to do. He shouldn't have taken me anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
then my mother, like 2 weeks later, my dumb ass is standing outside waving at cars. I was a real friendly child, very gregarious. So I'm waving at cars passing by. My mother ran up behind me, grabbed me from behind, covered my eyes and my mouth, and ran off with me. And I'm kicking and screaming. And then she sat me down, and then I saw it was her. And she said, "Now you see what could happen to you," because I was just too damn friendly. And kids can disappear in a second. But I walked
Sure
off with a
can.
whole ass white man. Yeah.
I mean, but that was during the time when children could go outside and play up and down the block till the
Right.
lights came on or went off or no, came on, street lights.
Exactly. But we were at a hotel, but I was supposed to be right outside the door.
Mm-hmm.
No, my little curious George ass was skipping and jumping and doing cartwheels and dumb shit. So she had to break me of that real quick.
Yep, and that's why these other cultures, man, I'm about to start flaming these niggas, bro. Y'all really selling kids worldwide. Y'all don't even. That's why I know y'all demonic asses is the reason that like child sex trafficking is a $1 trillion worldwide industry and all that shit because of these other fucking foreign countries, bro. They not even that.
Devo, you haven't seen the videos
They
of
not even
like
keeping the
Kenya,
stat.
Senegal, old white men at the beach walking around with 4 and 5-year-old fat ass
The
white men
Philippines,
with 4 and 5-year-old
Philippines,
children. The Philippines,
yes.
Vietnam, Russia, Yugoslavia, everywhere in the world except for like the Netherlands. Name some places, Wani. Uh,
I mean, I think that I've seen this problem the most in Bangkok. Seem to be a
mhm.
mecca for this horrible behavior, even to the point of them providing children for snuff films. they're really up in the ante every moment. But
What's
Africa,
what's the little what's the little Indian boys? The Bachi
the
boys?
Bachi
The Bucci
boys
boys?
in Afghanistan. Um, so you have at certain African countries do this where they give the children to tourists. But I was really shocked to find out that this behavior goes on in the Caribbean, certain Caribbean countries. So I mean, I just think it's widespread. As long as there's tourists and people willing to do this, it's just a hot mess.
All
What
these
is it in
countries,
Jamaica?
other than our country, got a culture of pedophilia and sex trafficking. It ain't
And that's
even.
why I think black people is not more ahead than we really could be, because we don't take devil money. We won't do anything for no damn money. Every other these races on this planet, they will do that shit. They selling a kid
So we're not behind, we're ahead.
as far as like what they trying to say financially and shit.
Yeah, financially, but no matter how you look at it, we're ahead. I mean, even if you look at the oppressive class, the oppressive society, look at the pedophilia. Like I said, follow Bex and follow, what is it, taking L's. There's two of the,
Oh,
anyway.
I think I followed
Black,
that one.
yeah. If you like all these white women teachers, they'll have you thinking, oh, it's just the internet. Then how come it's not black American teachers constantly having sex with their students? These are white
Yes,
women.
they do it all the time. And I mean, they have like 20 or 30 victims. What are they doing to these kids?
Man. And then when I grew up, Wani, our era, as early as I can remember, when I first started speaking, I was told, do not bend over in front of grown nobody. I was taught when you pick up something, you bend at the knees, you don't bend over. And the older women call it booing over. You don't boo over. You don't sit in men's laps. You don't even, you're not supposed to be in grown men faces. And if a grown man was talking to you, you were supposed to politely excuse yourself. Like they didn't play that during my era.
I'm a strict dad just like that. I don't play none of that. That's how I really don't understand how somebody's child can get taken from them, because I know where the fuck my daughter is. Other than when she's at school, somebody would literally have to go in my daughter's school and take her. You know what I'm saying? But outside of her being at school, that's the only time I don't know where the fuck my daughter is at. You know what
That's what
I'm saying?
I'm saying, OG. Like, is people just getting money to look the other way while the kid never get found or some shit? Like, what's going on?
And I'm
See,
overprotected. I know my daughter probably gonna be socially awkward, but I don't give a fuck. That's a good thing nowadays with all the bullshit that's going on. I want her to be socially awkward. I don't want her to have a lot of
No,
friends.
no, you don't want her to be socially awkward. You just don't want her to be exposed to too
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
yeah.
So,
Exactly. I don't want her
but
to
if
be
she's
exposed too
socially
much.
awkward, when she gets out the house, she gonna be too fast for you. So you gotta just no, but seriously, you just have to make sure she's around enough family and friends where she gets a balanced social life. You do not want a socially awkward female. I'm telling
No,
you.
she gets a balance of it. Like I'll take her out to do because she's still young. She about to turn 7 next month, so she get out the house, but she don't. Nah, if she does, I'm right there with her. You know what I'm saying? Or some of her friends. She got a friend from school, or these my homeboys twins. I'll pick them up and like take them to like the playground, or take them to like this arcade and like this. It's like a place we got called Scene 75 where they can go in the bouncy house and they got go karts and stuff in there. But other than that, like you at home reading because she loved to read. You at home doing some work. Like I ain't on that shit. She not about to be in this world at all. Fuck that. But what I'm really trying to teach her is like it's okay. I want her to know it's okay to be like a loner and isolate yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be in the mix.
To enjoy her own company.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, cause my girlfriend got friends and shit, and they all just like they live on validation of other people and being social. Like that's their whole life and shit. And this be the people that really want to be friendly and end up something bad happen to them. I don't like that.
Man, quick story. So Tyrese Gibson, the singer, his daughter, I think he has two daughters now, but anyway, I think the oldest one, they don't talk about this, but her mother was a stripper. She's 20 now. She's not even allowed in my friend's house anymore because she's so fast, laying around with her legs open, and she's been like that since she was a child. You know, grown men walk in and she's laying on her back reading or pretend reading, but her legs are open, like open at an angle, like I'm trying to explain, like if you're sitting down and your knees are bent, but then you open your legs. So my friends banned her from the house because she's just exhibiting this very promiscuous behavior. Her mother's also UK Caribbean. But there's also, when some of these men, their defense is, oh, she wanted it. There's some people who aren't regulating their children. And when I say children, you're always a child to your parents. Even now, like today, I went over to my dad's house. I have on a sundress, and it's a sundress. It's cute, but you're not supposed to wear a bra with it. I typically always wear a bra or a something to cover my breast. But it's hard with this because it has like a strappy back. But I have this bra thing that I wore. I go to my dad's house and I'll wear like, a jacket over it. That's how strict my dad is. I'm in my 60s. I know I'm not going to my dad's house with no nipples, no nothing. Like everything has to be respectful. And you have people out here letting their daughters come over in booty shorts and whatever. I don't care what the fashion is. When my little nieces used to come over all the time, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
buddy.
you're not wearing
We
that.
already know what that is.
And they would be upset with me. I don't care. You're not
Yep.
wearing that. Like,
Exactly.
too many people are just letting their children, even their
Exactly.
male children, wear things that I think are, you know, disrespectful or whatever. And I think we should adhere to
Right,
our
right,
Black
right,
American
right,
freedom
right,
and
right.
culture. And I'll
Right.
say this in closing. If
Right,
we go
right,
back
right.
to the late somebody correct me, 1998 to 2000, that was the end of the respectful Black American freedman portrayal in media.
Yo, 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 yo. Hey,
Then we really started seeing the imbalance
what up?
of out and
Yes.
out race. Remember they had all those at the pool parties?
Yep.
When BT Uncut came on, that's what it killed everything.
Yep.
Y'all remember BT Uncut?
What when they show the rap videos,
It was like explicit ass videos that
explicit?
came on late at night. We had never seen no shit like that on TV, like on just regular TV and not like on HBO or some shit like that. It was just on regular cable. That shit changed the game.
Tina, little Kim, Aunt Foxy, all Caribbeans. Who came out with I'm in love with the stripper? T-Pain?
Yep, yep,
T-Pain? Somebody got
yep,
Caribbean. I don't know if y'all know that. You can trace all of this
T
degeneracy
Pain.
to us.
yep.
T-Pain ain't
And
us. He
even
just grew
little
up
Kim
around
was
us
the
in the
first girl
church.
rapper.
Nappy Boy.
Foxy, man.
Man, my whole childhood fucked up. No man.
Little Kim,
Foxy the
Foxy Brown.
Santa.
T-Pain is the Caribbean.
But see what we did, being the loving people that we are, we let everybody in, not understanding that they weren't going to protect the culture. But not only that, we didn't understand their culture. So me and Wani are kind of the pioneers of posting what the real cultures look like outside of us. And they didn't snatch so many of my damn accounts. I'm rebuilding. They're over there in Jamaica dry humping to songs in trees. Okay?
D-
It
during
was
a hurricane.
well, yeah, that was recent. Dagger dancing. You know what dagger dancing is?
What's that?
Where the women run, leap in the air, and then fly on top of a dude and his penis region.
Bro, they literally be like slamming a girl on top of his lap hard as hell. Like that, Jamaicans and Caribbeans is funny with they dances, bro. Because that
Uh, I,
over
did y'all
crazy
see that clip
sexual
where the
is
one
not.
Jamaican dude? My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, but y'all see where he picked the little Jamaican girl up and was like humping her, dancing real hard on, her, and they fell through that fence, and he didn't give a fuck. She hit her head hard as fuck, and he
Because
was
that
Exactly.
still
They're in
pumping.
trees.
that.
They are in trees calling it dancing.
But look,
I saw
that's the
one.
the
The wait, real quick. This lady pulled out the dude's penis and gave him oral on the dance floor, and everybody was just nobody froze, nothing. The cameras didn't even come out. That's what we're dealing with. And when we talk about delineation, hold your head freaking high. We don't do that. I don't care what they say. Yeah, we got some degenerates here and there.
man. Even sexy
When are
red
you?
gonna suck a
Mhm.
dick on the dance floor, bro. Come on.
But she would though if they paid her
Yeah, she
a
would.
hundred more
She would.
thousand. She
So
would.
I mean, she did drop a sex tape. Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, but
trifling as fuck.
I've been studying her. How come you can't trace her ethnicity? So her last name is Wary. I want to say her real name is Janine. I need my old account back. I had that so archived.
Y'all tether detector be going crazy on anything.
Man, I know who the freak people used to try to run me down. They left me alone. I said, "This is my job and you shall not deter me." And if I'm right 99% of the time, that 1% will not make me stop. So her name is something Janae Wary. Wary, if you ever want to really research, there's a lot of different ways. So I'm going to tell you guys in this space. You can go type in name origin, type in the person's name, type in name origin, type in the person's name, type in name popularity, type in their name, type in country popularity, and here's the giveaway. Go to ethnicelebs.com. Now they didn't got hip to it, but if you go to ethnicelebs, they actually break down the genealogy. They will tell you if they might say everybody's African American, but they'll say, "Oh, Moses Gibson." They'll tell you the grandparent side, the great great grandparents as far back as they can go. You can tell the Caribbeans and Africans because it'll just say, oh, they're African American. Their mom's name is Maybelline Eustace. But there's so many ways to figure out who these people are. I'll give you another one for Caribbeans. Wait a minute. Is what's the basketball player's name? Is it Paul George? Is that the right
Yeah.
name?
Yeah,
Is he Caribbean?
I think Paul George's from LA.
I think he's from LA. I'm not sure
That
though.
don't mean nothing. It doesn't matter. You could be born anywhere in the United States and be
He might
Caribbean.
be.
Ch- Well, and
Don't
another
ruin
easy
the
way to check
NBA. Don't
Caribbean,
do that.
dude, I have just exposed some people and people have fallen out with me and then came back and apologized. Whenever you have two first names, that's also a red flag. Doesn't mean it's always true. You got to dig. Paul George, two first names. I'm got to investigate him. He's on my radar. But I'm just telling you, there's so many ways. Caribbeans, they have common names. The girls are Jessica, Amanda, um, Celine, Selena, Sabrina, um, Janae, There's a bunch of names.
He might be
Um,
Caribbean because he just left LA's too. He just left the Clippers and signed with Philly. So if he is truly like from LA, you know, them cats in the NBA really
well,
be like.
he said the deal. He said the deal was too foul for him.
He said it was too up.
Too foul. He said the money that they gave him, they should have given him a Kyrie deal versus what they offered him.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I'm just saying, you got to start paying attention to people's names. Kim, I know you guys will say that's an American name. Yes, the Caribbeans can blend in better because they kind of had a similar experience, but the Kims, there's very common names. The Africans have old school names. Ernest. Right now, I just can't think of them, but they have old school names. Wilson. I can't think of names, but I know them when I see them. Brandon is a typical Caribbean name. I know we have Brandons, but I'm just telling y'all what to look out for because people are like, how do you do this? Oh, there's a science to it.
You said so. Wilson is a Caribbean last name.
Yeah, Wilson, Ernest. Think of old school names. If you meet women named Gladys in 2024, Lois, um, think of old school ladies' names. Those are Caribbeans and Africans. They like those old colonial
Beverly.
names. Beverly, kinda, yeah. But that doesn't mean it's definitive. You start there, that's your red flag, then you do your research. Like we just found out, what's his name? Wiz Khalifa. What is he, Wani? Brazilian? Oh, Wani.
She been
Did you
passed
go to
out. Yep,
sleep?
she was yawning.
I shouldn't have been talking.
Nah, you good. You putting us up on game.
Yeah, but people keep accusing me. You say everybody's Caribbean. No, I don't. I just tell you who's Caribbean, who's African.
And
And when I'm wrong, I'm
and we
wrong.
delineating. So if you understand that we delineating, you shouldn't even take no offense to it.
As soon as you ask somebody where they're from and they say they're American, they're not
Oh
us.
yeah, that's a red
Who
flag.
says that?
I be asking them motherfuckers all type of questions like
What's a
shit only black people gonna know. Like, uh, what medicine did your grandma used to give you when you know what I'm saying, when you was sick or something when you was young? Or what type of meat
Robitussin.
you put in your greens and shit like that? Like,
You're not supposed to call out the
That's that
answers because they
60-year-old
study
girl.
these spaces.
Oh, good point. My
CC.
bad.
one?
Yeah, you can't do that.
One is that sister CC that
Oh,
we've been talking to this whole time? The the other
huh?
sister is
What?
that sister CC we've been talking to as well. One,
Yeah, you thought we were the same
I don't know
person.
which one of y'all be talking, but
Everybody does
but
that.
I saw Paul. What's the American national? That mean you from America?
Means you have American.
Yeah.
Oh, that's they saying Paul George dad is. I looked it up.
Yeah, but what's an American
I don't
national?
know. That's what I was asking. Like, what? I never heard this shit before. It seemed like a little little trick word or some shit. Like that just mean you living in America or something. I don't know. You might be on to something, Miss CC.
Ronnie's known me. I've been doing this for years.
Yeah, it seemed like
I mean, as
it
far as
seemed like
identifying
it
them.
seemed like if he was from here, it would have just said African American. But
Well, they say African American, but they call us all African American on those sites. So you have to dig deeper.
Yeah, in 2024, if
Like
you
I,
call
I go
Black
to
Americans
their.
African American, then I have to side eye you as Black American, or what CC say, Freeman.
yeah, we don't do the African American at all.
Yeah, most
Did we
people.
ever really do that though?
Yeah,
Did
Yo,
we ever
no,
really?
not really. Most people just call themselves black. Most Black Americans, we just say black. We
Yeah.
don't even say
ever
African American.
heard my
Only
grandmother?
them Pan Africans be saying African American. Go
I
ahead.
heard the
Sorry.
first time I heard African American, I was in undergrad in college. I'm
Like I don't even
Professor
I
Hank.
don't
hey,
even
CC,
remember
what's up?
myself saying African American. I always said like growing up, I always said I was black. I never said I don't even remember myself saying African American.
I remember
I tried it. It didn't feel right.
I only read it in school. I have never called myself one.
Judge Joe Brown kept saying that shit the other day. Dana was going the fuck off on him.
Do you, oh Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't know us to be nothing but black. That's all I ever heard us called. Like my mom, grandma, anybody when they say what we are is black.
I done heard freedman, Negro, black, and colored. That's it. I ain't never heard no African American. That's some shit
I
Obama
remember when
said.
Jesse Jackson pushed that whole thing. I actually in the beginning, I was like, because his rationale was you have to have a landmass to be anchored
You know
to be
a tether
respected.
too.
Huh?
Jesse a tether too.
Wait, now say what?
Jesse Jackson is like claims Native American or some shit like that. I don't think he like
Nah, American Indian is still
I
us. We were
don't I don't
reclassified.
think he claims like to be a black man.
CC, that's a fact. In 2020, I did a training with the United States Marines, and we
Yeah,
went downstairs. The Marines invited us to the museum, and we went downstairs, and they had this early photograph of like the War of 1812, or I forget if it was War 1812 or the Indian Wars. But a dude I was with, Army major, he's like, Alon, we the fucking Native Americans. I was like, sir, and he pointed at the thing, and I looked at a picture. The Marines rounded up about 120 quote unquote Indian families, and they had afros, big old pretty lips, big old nose. They was us. They just had feathers in their hair.
exactly. Why do you think Shaka Khan, Cameo, I can't think of all the
George
groups
Clinton,
used to
Mr. T.
dress everybody. So I Ronnie went to sleep, so I feel like I didn't took over the damn space. But if you ask yourself, why is it that everybody else can just say, "Hey, white people, I'm German Australian," and melanated immigrants go, "Oh, really?" You know, everybody
I
gets to
would
say
can I
whoever
ask
they're,
y'all can
huh?
I ask you this, sister? If Jesse Jackson knows that he a native mixed with a black person and some Irish, if he know all of that and about his ethnicity, what the hell made him come out and just start saying African American?
Because that's what I was saying. His rationale politically, he claims. I don't know, if this was a trick bag because I did fall for it early on. I was like, that is genius. So he said, we are the only black people that are identified by color, that we are not tied to a landmass, that we don't have, quote unquote, a lineage. So he said, there's Native Americans, Asian Americans, Italian Americans, Russian Americans. And he said, we were just black or Negro or colored or whatever they were calling us at the time. And he said, we are African Americans. And that was supposed to give us a sense of pride. So that was his Pan African thing. But that whole Native American thing, my grandmother, I get confused, Cherokee or Choctaw, right? Not full. My stepmother, Choctaw. Different people I know where we come from. We know that we have that in us, but the
He
reclassification
knew that's what I'm
is.
saying, sis. He knew his lineage. He knew he knew it. So hell
But what
made
if you don't know? We're just now coming into our awakening.
But Jesse
Fact.
saying that we weren't tied to a landmass, that was deceptive because we're and he should know
But
better than that, being in
brother,
the position that he's in.
that's the
We're
whole trick.
directly tied to this landmass.
That's it. That's it. That's the trick bag that I didn't even realize until I joined Twitter Space. That's what it's about. This is our landmass. My mama's side of the family are from like at Birmingham, and they're of the Tuscaloosa tribe, which is like Tuscaloosa means black warrior. They've been there. My mom and them been in Alabama maybe 20,000 years. This is our home. This is our land, and I
And
think that's what the whole point is. They want.
And they don't want us to
There
claim
you
it.
go.
there was 300, literally 300 tribes that the government decided not to recognize. I wonder if those
Oh, I didn't know that part.
300,
300?
300 tribes, over 300 tribes are not were not recognized and reclassified by the American government.
But they, oh, but you know why, right? You know why?
To I guess because the other natives took our identity and they wanted us to never get it back.
Because I don't have it 100%. This isn't my area of expertise. I wish Darvid was in here. If you're not following Darvid, Darvid, if you want to know about the
I
American
followed our,
Indian
I talk
lineage.
with him almost every day.
Oh, okay. I like that guy. I'm not an expert on this American Indian side, but okay. I'm going to do this as briefly as I can and nobody hold me accountable because I may not get it right. When they talk about the five civilized
Just
tribes,
try,
those are the
Cece.
tribes that were enlisted to capture us, to help
Right.
white oppressors capture us, enslave us. And that's another
Exactly.
reason a lot of us have Cherokee, Choctaw, Seminole, whatever the five civilized tribes. They gave them that
Exactly.
designation
Yep.
of civilized because they sided with white demons, right? So that's why the other tribes, they're not giving them that status, that designation. And then let's fast forward. We can go back in a minute. So when you look at the Freedmen's Bureau, there are those that be like, oh, you can't call yourself a freedman because the Indians are freedmen too. No, it was the Freedmen's Bureau, the refugees, and the five civilized tribes. And they were, some of them people refer to as the freedmen. Okay, so I hope I've established why the five civilized tribes. They were traders, they were enslavers, they were slave catchers. Another part to know, oh God, this is super important. Don't let me lose this. Oh, another reason their land was taken is because when they sided with the Union Army, no, the Confederates, like don't quote me, but it's something like this. The United States government reneged on whatever the treaty was called at the time and took their land because they were deemed to be traitors to the United States government at that time. And then that's why there's, besides, if you don't know about the $5 Indians, that's why there's this big push to give them back their land because of the treaty that some say the five civilized tribes broke, others say they didn't. That's the best I can do in this moment. If it doesn't make sense, please forgive me. Professor, was that
Yes,
right?
that sounded about right. And I'm just brushing up on my scholarship with respect to um the real, the native blacks, as Dr. Claude Anderson would say it. So I don't, I'm still learning a lot about this, but CC, a lot of this is like you got to dig real hard for it. It's hidden really well.
Well, just now, 2022 and 2023, the United States government issued a warning to the tribes that they've sanctioned to have the casinos and all of that. I don't know if people know, more than half of Oklahoma has been given to, air quotes, the Native Americans who are predominantly white now because they bought into the tribes. Like if you do your research on the $5 Indians. But anyway, they're just giving money hand over fist to white people. But they just had a ruling that any tribe that's discriminating against the Black American Indians, meaning us, um, that are on the Dawes roll, that they will lose their government funding. So now we're seeing a bunch of us, air quotes, now getting their monies from the United States government. like the rest of the so-called, what are they called? Five civilized tribes. But here's the thing: as we fight for reparations, the question then becomes, are you eligible for reparations if you're identifying as an American Indian? Because you're already getting your
And I think
reparations.
that's, and I just hypothesize that's why we see this resurgence of Negroes on X, on this app, coming around talking about, no, no, we not, we Indians, we Indians. It's so interesting. I mean,
But is it okay for people to identify as Indian?
um, uh, well, from
I
which
Our
I
from
don't
which
people,
stance?
huh?
From which angle are you talking about for reparations?
If I say I just told you that I know for a fact that I have Cherokee in my
Mhm.
family, right? Allegedly, I Cherokee for sure. Allegedly Choctaw and Cherokee. I know that my stepmother, they have a long lineage of Cherokee. If I decide today to say I would rather go over here and get on the Dawes roll, which I think they've closed, I don't know. But if I want to go over here and collect my reparations through being an American Indian, is there anything wrong with that? As long as I don't try to come over here and try to get it as a freedman. Because if you look at when the Freedmen Bureau was established, those are separate
Right,
status.
right, right.
So I don't think you should be able to double dip, but I don't think we should be telling people who they aren't and who
Yeah,
they are.
that'd be like a res judicata issue, wouldn't it?
A what?
Collateral estoppel, like double dipping.
Yes, yes, yes. Man, you went to law
Yeah.
school? Oh, what
What
up
up
though?
though?
I don't
Where'd you go?
Just a
Where'd you
little
go?
bitty trifling law school. I'm not practicing. I'm a
Stop it. Me either. I do non-traditional law,
I,
but
I do
but
I
what
do
school?
have a small I do a divorce and I don't really talk about it, but child custody.
I just want to know what law school you
Just
went
a little
to.
sorry ass law school. I don't brag.
If you don't knock
I
it
don't
off, you
brag on
where'd you
these
go?
PWIs. I don't brag on them.
Negro, you where'd you go? Because I know you went there.
Just a little bit. Oh Lord,
Oh
gonna
Lord. I am. Why not?
just a little sorry ass law school. I don't want to brag on that. I'm ashamed of my
Okay,
law
well, will
school.
you
I'm ashamed
contact
of it. Stop it.
will you no you're not. No, you're not. Will you contact Arthur
Arthur,
Watkins?
why does he sound familiar?
Because Arthur, he has a Freedman legal fund going. I'm going to hold a space about it because we really need to help him fund this. So he's suing the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, over delineation and our right to self-identify.
Mhm.
And he's sent out legal notices. This, I think the final notices are going out to two more states. But he's already sent in the notice of filings for the NAACP, the Urban League, I think NARC and Cobra. Anybody that's obstructing us as self-identifying as whatever we want to self-identify as, so that we can delineate and, get the resources that we own, that are ours, and that are now being given to others. So he's bringing those
Is
lawsuits.
Arthur in Memphis?
I
That name
don't
sounds so
remember.
familiar.
There's Arthur Ward and Arthur
I
Watkins.
think Arthur's in Memphis. I think I know this dude. If we're talking about the same guy.
Well, just make sure everybody, please, in the space, follow him. Put your money where your mouth is. If you can only put $25 to this legal fund,
what's his name?
we have to,
What's his name?
huh? Arthur Watkins, and he has a company called Pillow. He fills pillows. He has a machine that you can go and refill your pillows, so you don't have to keep buying new pillows. So he's an entrepreneur. Very, very intelligent guy, very serious. I would like to hold a space with him. He and I correspond, but I would like to have a space so people can ask questions and vet him. But he has a legal fund going, which the NAACP used to do. But now that it's been taken over by immigrants, did you ever notice that they never get on the microphone to defend us? Like Martin, Malcolm, Um, what's the guy's name? Oh God, what's his name? Adam Clayton Powell. Um, no one is in front of the microphone. We're being called the N word with the hard ER left and right. The United States government is allowing the propaganda to go on against us. That can be quelled in many different ways. The State Department that issues the exam for the oath of citizenship does not list our history. And so we have people flooding the country that don't have enough common sense to understand that there's no way that we have sat around for 500 and more years living off of welfare when welfare didn't even exist until what was it, the 50s? But how can you come to a country, and that's why they feel entitled to these handouts, this welfare, because they're like, you've been doing it since you got here. No. So we need people bringing lawsuits, forming committees, and fighting different areas. So if you're in entertainment, I don't think we should have to fight for the black entertainers. They should be fighting for their own because they're being pushed out. But we do need a committee that only works on that. We need a committee that works on making sure that our history is included on the oath of citizenship. We've come to find out that in the State Department, and I'll relinquish the mic after this. Um, we've come to find out that the State Department actually has foreign born employees and white employees, everybody but us in there, as part of them, of immigrants being processed. They're told literally, I need you to understand this, literally, they're being told, stay away from the Black American. They're nothing but trouble. They're drug dealers, baby mamas, criminals. They're Our tax dollars are paying for people to be
That's a
indoctrinated
fact. That's
against
a
us.
fact. I lived in New York for a little while, and one of my colleagues was dating. He was dating this girl from Turkey, and she was trying to become a naturalized citizen. And in the video, it was ever so subtle, but it was some warning in the video. The warning was like, "Don't hang out with them because you have a higher probability of getting a criminal record, and if you get a criminal record, you'll never become an American citizen." This is
Ooh,
yeah,
so that's how they doing it.
yeah,
Ooh,
buddy.
I thought everybody knew
Yeah.
this.
ooh.
Yep. This is in 2017. Wasn't that long ago.
It's happening right now. Why do you think they keep everyone away from us? The only people they drop off in our communities are melanated immigrants and Latinos. Latinos come here funded by the cartel. Sorry, my other phone is ringing and I can't find it. Latinos come here funded by the cartel, right? And other various sources. I'm going to hold a space in about a week about something that's been heavily on my mind, but know this. They drop people off in our community that they think, can relate to us, but they put all of the Eastern Europeans and, Western
If you ask
Europeans and
Mark Carter, if you ask
Asians,
Mark Carter, they are there to kill us.
but they are. But they are. And people think that's like a specious statement to make, but just know this. Why do they keep us so segregated from people? They want them to think we are the sexy reds, the NLE Choppa, the Uncle Lukes. They don't want them to see me, Connie Collins, Professor Allah, Draco, Goddess, DJ Big A on the spot. They don't want us to see, they don't want them to be around us with their seeing our loving families. This is all by design. It's part of the white supremacist
And
system.
wasn't it the similar was done in Weimar, Germany? Like it's the same playbook. Like
Not familiar, not familiar. Are you talking about prior to the Holocaust when they were experimenting on
oh
Africans?
no, I was referring to the way that the Nazi machine, propaganda machine, first start setting up the Jews like with propaganda, like demonizing them, And I'm not caping for them. I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
But they did Africans
That's
before
true.
them.
That's true. The
Remember?
Africans, yep, yep, yep. That's often very forgotten because the Africans, the Tunisians, fought with the Germans during World War I, and instead of going back to Africa, of course, they stayed in Germany and married African women, and also they did it with their children. They had a whole neighborhood of mixed children that went to those chambers. But notice how they don't talk about the blacks, the Africans. They don't talk about that. This whole history machine is a mess. Oh man.
And that's why people, I think I'm on my whatever, sixth freaking account on here. They know my shit is so organized on this app, and they can see what you do behind the scenes. I had shit so organized. But one of the things that I purposely started doing is treating Twitter more like Instagram. If you notice, I've been posting pictures of me, videos of my family. I can't post everything and everyone, but we have to counter the narrative. We have to indoctrinate our own people into seeing the beauty. I always say the great and beautiful Black American
Right.
freedmen. I, yeah, I hear people on here. I'm like, where the freak are you living where you still think all black people are poor, or all black people are going to spend their reparations money on rims and the strip club? And I'm like, my family would never do no shit like that, right? But of course, there's some people in my family that might, because we're humans. We're not
It's such a
monolithic,
small
right?
portion of us, and I'm in Memphis.
Such a
I'm
small
in Memphis,
portion.
Tennessee, like a very low SES city. But even in Memphis, Tennessee, the majority
What's SES mean? What's that mean?
socioeconomic status. The,
But that's United. Did you boule
I'm not
Negroes?
Boule. I'm not Boule. I
I'm
might be. I
being
might be
silly.
bougie though.
I didn't know. No, you're right, and nothing wrong with that. But thank you for educating me.
Yeah, but Memphis has this, perception of being ghetto, hustle and flow, and it is kind of like, low SES. But even with that being said, the
You
majority,
hey, professor, if you ain't Boule, you would have been a perfect one, nigga.
oh, they didn't want me.
They was recruiting you, you know.
That's a whole nother space. That's a whole nother thing.
But wait. Go back real quick if you don't mind. DeVoe, I think he was onto a good point, and I think it's important. So
Oh
Memphis
yeah, I'm
is what?
ADHD. I forgot. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, that's a really good point. It is. It's the majority of foundational Black American families here are basically just working class people. It's the whole narrative of rims and being dope dealers and stuff. You can go to one of these neighborhoods that are like Fraser, which is a hustle and flow neighborhood. Hustle and flow was designed after Fraser, North Memphis, and the majority of them families just working class mamas and daddies
Normal
that work at the
people.
factory who children going off to University of Tennessee. Just normal folk.
But statistics show, and this is why they snatched my account, because I don't know if you follow Wani. Wani will post statistics. I post statistics. Statistics show that we, Black American freedmen, collectively spend the majority of our money on essentials: housing, food. What's another essential? Housing, food. Uh, what are other things we
Gas,
need?
you know,
What, whatever. Essentials. If you think about most of the people listen, I used to go to little, Neiman and Saks, dumb shit.
me too.
Spending 500, dumb shit. Spending $500 on a blouse. One blouse. Thank God I woke the freak up. I am the biggest discount shopper in the world and still can rock the baddest shit going. If I'm wearing some Gucci, it costs me $25 brand new with the tag still on it and it's current. I don't even care about the name brand. Whatever's cute is cute to me. Black Americans are the swaggiest people. When I was a little girl, I read something, I think Ralph Lauren or somebody, one of the top designers said, they said, "Where did you get your inspiration?" I'll never forget. I was at the orthodontist office in the waiting room, 12 years old, reading this. And he said, "Black Americans." He said, "They are so colorful. They're so creative. He said they put style and fashion together like no one else. My mother used to model, so I grew up reading fashion magazines. I never forgot that. So now we have marketing teams that study us and everything we do. And again, I'm going to keep saying we are the great and beautiful Black American freedmen, but they're trying to isolate everyone from us. But here's the problem: I live in Los Angeles. So I see all these immigrants. I feel like I live in a foreign country almost right now. The white people are damn near disappearing into enclaves, right? But what they're doing, they're trying to convince the world that we're not great. Now, this is what you need to lock into your brain, if nothing else. It's not cute that they're appropriating us. And we used to say we don't care, right? But they're doing it poorly, but we're also not getting paid from it. Nobody else, you don't see people rocking kimonos. People were trying to rock kimonos, and them Japanese said, we're not having it.
Facts.
White girls started trying to do the geisha look. They said, we're not fucking having it. The so-called Native Americans, they made the Redskins stop with the chop, 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 the tomahawk, and the headband. And then even Kenya Moore on the Real Housewives of Atlanta did it. And because she has dark skin, they said she's not Indian, but she is. I would have never felt that. But we can go through every culture, but guess what? Nobody wants to imitate them. So once we get in our head that we are great, we are beautiful, we are Black American freedmen, there's something so special about us that everyone copies us. We have to get in our head how special it is. And if we withdraw from the greater society, we can fund ourselves. That's how simple it is. I don't need to go to Neiman to be a bomb ass dresser. I don't need to go to the Dominicans to get my hair done. I don't need to do shit but be a Black American freedman. That's the thing that we have to get in our heads. Once we get that in our heads, everything is simple. They Not Like Us is our anthem. They said, oh, isn't that played out? Isn't it corny? When is it going to end? Nigga, it's not going to end for 100 years if we don't want it to end. You not like us. You not going to be like us. You were never like us. And we're going to keep saying it. But we have to have a new anthem. We are us. We are not quite comprehending the greatness of us. Who is
There's
us?
a hoodie called I end up buying one, but they're really expensive, called Bathing Apes. But yeah,
They, I hope you threw it away now.
uh, well,
You know what that, okay, go ahead. I'll
yeah,
be
yeah. I'm
quiet.
just saying it was
You
stolen.
rocking
Like,
that boy right now.
what'd you say, bro?
You rocking that boy right now.
No, no. No,
Hard.
all I'm trying to say is these young men that people study our young men and women in Memphis. Like, you can rock some like high end fashion by going to the hood and just going to one of these corner shops, getting the jeans, and they study our little boys and little girls in Memphis. Man, now they're trying to steal juking, like just
They still in juking. Do you see?
juking.
I've been I've been contacting, what is his name? Deuce, my old account. Deuce, Deuce.
I don't know him.
He's the head guy in the juking community. Everyone's ignoring me. The white boy, please do not follow him, block him. The Memphis Jukin account on Twitter is ran by a whole ass white boy, and every day he's like, "Oh, it's lit. Oh, they killing it. Oh, this how we do." The way I'm saying this is how white boy is typing. I've been contacting the juking community saying, "Do not let them steal this from us. You create a site. You get a podcast. You do a fashion magazine. These Negroes in Memphis, Professor, are so happy that Asians are juking. They're over there applauding. I'm like, this is the beginning of the end. It's expedited. Everybody knows the
Wow.
formula. So if you guys, I always call it call to action with Connie Collins. Anyway, listen, we have all got to pick a project. So, Professor, that may not be your project, but whoever's in Memphis, get on it. Go meet these people. Explain to them why they can't allow anyone else to be the voice of juking. Juking is a new art form. It's not that new, but to the world, it's new. It's beautiful. They got a fucking African guy. If you see this weirdo juking, anyway, I'm just saying. I'll be quiet. You were
No,
talking,
no,
but
no. Keep
this is
going.
why I
You
don't like to. No, I don't like to
No,
go into spaces
No,
where
no,
y'all
no, no. I
start
like what you're
going.
saying because I am in touch with these young men in South Memphis because I'm an adjunct faculty at a college there, a historically black college actually, and I'm real close.
Now we're saying what we do,
Oh
where we're
shit,
from.
yeah, but yeah, I'm just I really care for I really love my community I never thought about it from your perspective that I need to tell and you
But tell them
to
that's where the
gatekeep our
bag
shit.
is. I do contracts law. Tell them that's where the bag is. That's where you want to get some money and you don't want to be in the street and you don't want to dance all day. That's where the bag is. And you're supposed to get that money internationally. When I got into it with MC Hammer last week and that kind of blew up, and he came back at me and he said I was ignorant because he was promoting Asians dancing to what was his hit song? I
Too
don't know.
legit to quit
Pumps
or
in a bump.
something.
Too legit, pumps in a bump. I don't know. And he said I was ignorant and he didn't know, even though this account is little right now, people lit his ass up. And we're trying to tell him, you're supposed to be getting a bag in China for that. You're not supposed to be impressed that they're culturally appropriating us. So, anybody in Memphis, you don't even have to be in Memphis, get a team, get a committee. I can't do everything. People can't do everything. I have my projects I work on. We have to get committees where you go hard and everything isn't instantaneous. It might take a year for it to take hold, 2 years. But Memphis has to understand juking is the next big blow up. That's our
lit-
bag. That's our money. That's gonna feed our people.
literally every last thing that got to do with any hip hop, everybody across the world, from Chinese to white to every country, has stolen something from it. UK got drill rap. The UK got drill rap. The Chinese is trying to steal our b-boying, and in Africa they got a African Fetty Wap.
Hey Google.
Every rapper we got over here
Hey
is one
Google.
over there on bro.
Lights blue.
They got an African
What's his
they
name?
got an African Lil Uzi Vert on bro.
Everything, and they're doing it horribly. Mike Bags,
Hey Google.
MikeBA,
Hey Google.
GGZ.
Lights red.
Follow him. So he has a campaign going right
Hey Google.
now. Oh God, what is Mike's
Lights
campaign?
purple.
Uh
Hey Google.
oh God, it
Lights
just
purple.
escaped me. Oh, Mike is protecting. He's trying to get us to get behind him. He's chosen his project. Oh
Is it Mike
God.
Bags with a Z? Okay.
Yeah. But his project is, oh God, it's something in our culture. Mike used to be a rapper. He ended up becoming a real estate entrepreneur. He's doing extremely well. But somebody go to his page and tell me what he's doing right now. But he's fighting against some other form of cultural appropriation, and people are mad at him. And you notice every time we do something, we have to pay attention. They come at us hard for about 6 months and they fall back. We are the people with determination, resilience, self determination. We always win in the end, and our culture is ours and it belongs to us. And other people have found out that our blueprint, our brown print is in our DNA. Our brown print is our culture. Our brown print is who we are. They're not in our homes. They don't get the upbringing we get. They don't understand we're graded everything because it comes from culture. But there's discipline behind the culture. You can't be a top basketball player if you didn't practice, right? You can't be a top singer. They go, all y'all sing. Kinda, kinda, because it's the culture. But Whitney grew up singing her ass off and learning chords, right? So what you have is you have people who think they can step into our culture just by, culturally appropriating it. So back to Mike Bags. What Mike is doing, somebody please go to his account and tell me he has a petition going, and I try to highlight everybody that's working on something, but he needs our help too, just like Arthur does. Oh God, I forgot what it is, but he's trying to protect an art form of ours, and they tell us, "Oh, all you do is sing and dance, but you can't. But you can't. If you could, you would." So I'm not going back and forth about that shit. But you can't. That's what makes us great. Oh, all you do is sing and dance and you're athletes, but you can't. But you don't because you can't. And there's discipline behind that. But they don't want to mention our scholars, right?
Damn.
No, they don't.
I don't agree with Dr. Ben Carson politically, but he was the best
Right.
doctor
But
of the early 2000s. He
tell the space why though. Tell them
because he
why.
was the only doctor in the entire world to do a operation the first time. Black American greatness.
But wait, who did he operate on?
Conjoined
Was it Siamese twins?
conjoined twin,
Yep. Conjoined
conjoined twin,
twins. And
separated.
he had to bypass an electrical system between. That's why all the other experiments or whatever operations failed, right? Because nobody else could figure out how to separate conjoined twins with all those internal organs and fissures and what are the things called? Somebody help me out. Whatever. He did that.
Arteries.
Arteries is something else, but all
I
of
can't
that.
even comprehend that.
Who? What? How do you comprehend that? That is a gift,
He the first man to do it, and Black American. And even though I don't totally agree with him politically, that's our spirit.
right?
That's the Black
What
American
about open heart
mindset right
surgery?
there.
What about open heart surgery?
Didn't he do something groundbreaking in that?
It wasn't him.
It wasn't
I don't
him. I
remember.
got an article on the guy. It wasn't Charles Drew, was it?
Charles Drew. No, Charles Drew did the blood infusion, right?
What's the
But
guy's name?
remember they did a movie Magic Hands or whatever, and he had to be the apprentice to a white doctor. What when I say the great and beautiful Black American freedman, I hope you will adopt that saying because it excludes people. No one else can call themselves the great and beautiful. We are a beautiful fucking people.
Oh yeah, we're so beautiful.
Man, we are beautiful. And ever since these melanated immigrants started this dumb shit, oh, we look alike. No, the fuck you don't. And I'm going to curse till I can curse no more. No, the fuck we don't. You don't look like us. And you know why? Because your aura is dead. We have an aura that transcends everybody else's joy despite all of the hardship that's been heaped upon us. But they don't want to talk about our scholars, our poets, our
This the
politicians,
one I got.
our most articulate
A
people.
tether or
But
nobody else from another ethnicity
no
can
one.
say nothing to me until they go fix them homelands, bro. Just go do it. And maybe, all right,
Fix your homeland.
maybe I'll let y'all criticize some of us, and but y'all in another country. Do you know how coward and like low you gotta feel as a man to admit? A tether admitted to me that he in another country for better opportunities. He does not want to fix his country, and he looks up to white man. Dude, what type of like that is
You
low?
ran, you sometimes they leave their children, their parents, everybody behind for a job. I
You
have a
can't
job.
even feel like a man. Like
It was Daniel Hale Williams. I put him in the
Yes,
jumbotron.
yes. What was the movie? Remember? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're really great and beautiful. And just when you wake up every day and you are who you are and you're good at what you do, you take that shit for granted. We have to stop taking our greatness and our beauty for granted. We are beautiful in so many ways. We are great in so many ways, right? We have to stop taking it for granted. We can no longer rest in our laurels. When they told us that globalism, my dumbass did not understand globalism. I should have read and researched, but I thought I was smart and I knew. I didn't know jack boo about globalism. I thought that meant, oh, you have to be prepared to work from home from anywhere in the world, and you just need to get your skill set up or get another degree. No, that's what open borders is. I'm going to get back to the topic if you allow me to tie this in. What they were telling us is they've made agreements, not just trade agreements. The United States could fall. I don't know if they will, but they've talked to these other countries. They said, hey, you've depleted us. You've denigrated us. You're stealing our resources. You're exploiting us. We can't bear this burden anymore. We've got all these prisoners. We've got this savagery. We got to offload some of these people on you. And that means the coons, that failed in the last coup, the major drug dealers, the people that can afford to get here, and the ne'er-do-wells are criminals. Can you criminalize them? Can you put them in your prisons? Because you have privatized prisons that you can't fill because Black Americans said we are no longer going to allow our people to fill those prisons. And can you get these low grade workers over there? And by the way, we have some high grade workers too. We want to offload. Well, we weren't understanding because we don't have anyone advocating for us. So we got to sit up in spaces, us normal ass people, and break this shit down. So now we're competing with people who are desperate. You can never trust a desperate people. I don't even trust desperate family members. They're not even allowed in my damn house.
Facts.
So you think I'm going to trust a desperate melanated immigrant that is willing to denounce their ethnicity to become us?
Yeah, there you go. That's I mean, you need to shorten that, Connie, and put that in and put that message out there. You hit it. That's it. If you turn your back on your own homeland, like how can I trust you
That's
to
what I was saying, sister.
wow.
If you think a job makes you better than the great and beautiful Black American freedmen, you have no history of greatness, and you came here and got a little punk ass job. Oh, I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. Who gives a fuck? So are we. If we had a cultural racial competition, put your grade up against our grade in this country and in your country, and all you got is a damn job because you're so happy to have some air conditioning, some running water, some underground plumbing, some consistent electricity, and you want to tell us we ain't shit because we don't appreciate that, and we're telling you everything that this country is belongs to us. I can't mess with you.
They don't even feel like Africa is theirs. They don't feel like Africa is theirs. Like that's what I'm saying. These tether dudes that leave their homeland, how can you feel like a man? You gotta go somewhere else and get somebody else tax dollars to and live there for a minute. Then you may come up off of the system that they built and get a job, and then your life is complete. These people are they like you
Say
can't.
it. Just say
Man,
it. Say the word that comes to your head.
I don't know what word comes to my
It's
head
called
when you
despicable.
just man.
It's called self hating. You bounced from your country. You didn't sit around like we do. Like my ass is sitting up in a space with shit to lose, talking this shit, popping this pop, right? Going, I'm going to fight this fight.
Facts.
Right. Because I could have been a lot further along in life. I kind of told my personal story in different spaces, clubhouse, whatever. A lot of us could have been a lot further in life, but we chose to stay here in this
Good.
peace.
That's what I'm saying.
But they don't do that.
And stand up for what's right.
How do
if
you
we
not run up right now? How do if we were the majority with our spirit and you not running up on nobody and you bounce to another country? I am a black Brit. I'm Irish. I'm sweet. Nigga, you're African. What are
Then
you talking about
then
right now?
they always want to talk shit about us actually getting conquered to get enslaved. Motherfucker, we fought out of it. We had revolts, slave revolts, the Seminole War, all type of shit was happening in this country. People was killing their masters. So much stuff happened, and we ended
Shut
up
up,
fighting
nigga.
in the war.
Shut up, nigga. You ain't nothing. He got
But
quiet.
and then we fought in the actual war that freed us. And these motherfuckers want to talk about, yeah, you were a slave though. Y'all slaves right now.
Man. And that's hurtful, right? It's
Yeah, it
hurtful.
surprised me. I spent a good portion of time in West Africa, and I was so surprised. I had no clue that West Africa, is more colonized than the United States. We ain't got shit on them. They are like totally colonized.
At the end of the day, I'm going to keep calling us the great and beautiful Black American freedmen until every one of us gets that we are the great and beautiful Black American freedmen. There's no one, no ethnicity, no collective group,
When you've been told
entity.
when you've been told you a criminal and you this or not so much, and then you got your own elders and Judge Joe Brown over there talking about black crime, like our own people saying this shit about us. So
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
nobody,
No, that's what I'm
but
saying. That's why a lot of people get into that. Yeah, the black crime is the problem. That's where this shit is coming from.
why are
That
you,
shit drives me
not just
crazy.
you? Oh, Darvid's in here. I was shouting you out, Darvid. But here's the thing. Something that my parents instilled in me, and it took me to be an older person to really get how much it stuck. You know how your parents go, you could be anything, you could do anything. I took it serious, very, very serious. Let me take out my braces because I'm going, I sound like a snake. Excuse me. Okay, we can be anything because we are everything. They're breaking up our communities on purpose if we're not together. So I listen to people on this app being freaking ridiculous. You ain't shit, nigga. Fuck you. I run you down, nigga. Where you at? Meet me over here. Okay, whatever. Nobody has time for you. However, we've got all of us from that range to the serious range, everything in between. If we don't know how great and beautiful we are, we may be convinced that some of these things they say about us are true. But if you really look around, especially if you've done your genealogy, you start seeing the occupations of your people. Hopefully, you don't come from a whole lineage of losers. Let's just hope. But they don't want us together. They don't want us to have a lineage. I'm going to give you an example. When you used to watch the BET Awards, who was sitting next to who? You had Whitney Houston, you had Lionel Richie, you had Luther Vandross, you had Babyface, you had Prince, you had Michael Jackson, all sitting together. I live in LA. I've seen a lot of nice stuff. I'm talking nice. I've been in spaces with these people. I've actually ridden in the car with Prince. I've hung out with Prince. I've hung out with people. None of that, neither here nor there, but it's here and there. And I say that for a reason. If you've seen it with your own eyes and you know that these are just regular Black American people with talent, they don't want us together. They don't want you to see your auntie that's a professor. They don't want you to see your grandpa that had a whole farm and two stores, uneducated, and hired 100 people. They don't want you to see your uncle that's a scientist. They don't want you to see anything other than you and your little family and think you're exceptional. So, this whole segregationist thing, isolating us, they ain't shit, all the immigrants signing up for that, and now the melanated immigrants who now say to us, hey, why are you picking on us? Because You need to get out of our faces because you're not a part of us. And people say, no disrespect, no disrespect. You're disrespecting me and my beautiful, great Black American freedmen people by trying to be us. You go be your own people. You build your own social capital by yourself. You go be like the Asians and the Latinos and the Eastern Europeans that nobody's checking for. If you want to get to this level of greatness and beauty, then you build it without us. Don't mention our names. Don't use our beats, our rhymes, our intellectualism, our art. None of it.
Don't talk about reparations. Stop talking about black
Don't
on
talk
black
about none
crime.
of it.
Stop talking about out of Africa theory. Just let us go on, bro.
Man, on bro, go over there and be a great Congolese, be a great Cameroonian, be a great Kenyan, be a great Nigerian. You go build that community, but don't mention us. Do not mention us. And
And that's where the jealousy, people like the melanated immigrants are as jealous of us. And I think some of these white Eastern European immigrants are too.
everyone, you gotta not be afraid. Don't think everyone's. How can you not be jealous of Simone Biles? How can you
No, I'm
not be
saying they
jealous?
sitting in a
No, hold on. How can you not? You mentioned Ben Carson. How can you not be jealous of a community that produces Ben Carson over and over and over again? And Serena Williams and Adam Clayton Powell
Against all odds.
against all odds. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Fannie Lou Hamer, Connie Collins, DeVoe, Professor, DJ Big A, Wani, on and on. We're the only people doing this in a country that has bombed 80% of the world. And we said, we don't give an F what the heck you did to anybody else. We're here. We're doing what we do, and we're going to continue to do it, right? That's the greatness. That's also the beauty. So, what we have to understand is we're talking to a lot of people externally. Now, let's talk to ourselves. Gray King, I'm shouting out all the people I really respect. Gray King and I don't know if it's the six states great migration moving to the South. Listen to him. I'm not saying I'm a proponent of everything everyone's pushing. What we have to do is focus on us in a way where no one can infiltrate us. Men, I'm going to talk to you for a hot second. Don't let your penis lead you. It's bad women everywhere, but your women are bad enough. You don't need a Caribbean. You don't need an African. You don't need a white. You don't need a Chinese. Get your game up. If you can't pull somebody, talk to somebody who put you up on game. Women, stop listening to these little hurt ass Caribbean, African, melanated immigrant women. They don't love us because they want the white women. No, that's your men. That's your men. We talked about desperation. They come here and they're like, let me get a white person, both their men and their women. They're trying to lighten their skin. Everybody is. The Asians, people don't know Asians lead in bleaching. Africans are second. Caribbeans are third. We're the only people, we're not interested in bleaching. We're just interested in being left alone. So, in closing, the great and beautiful Black American, pick a project that you believe in and work on it. Whatever industry you're in, and there's discrimination there, you get two people, three people, 10, 12. If you can get 100 people, and I caution you about this online shit because I've done it. A lot of these people are saboteurs. Vet everyone that you work with. Go to their houses, send people to their houses, see who they are, whatever. All of us have to work on a project.
background checks, all type of shit.
Everything, everything. But at the end of the day, let me just close with this on this note. If you don't believe you're great and you're beautiful, there's something wrong with you because we descend from greatness. How come no one else can produce the top athlete, the top scholars, the top singers, the top doctors? the top
the
artists,
top activists, the top,
the top
the top
everything.
nothing. They can't do nothing. The top white they
Why?
said produce the top.
But why, DeVoe? Why can't they do it?
Man, they not like us.
They not like us. Thank you, Kendrick. The host is about to fall out. We got too good for them. Space is about to crash. Mm. At the end of the day, just remember, tell everybody, start talking about how great we are, how beautiful we are. Reinstill who we are. Tell your children how great and beautiful they are. Tell them why we're hated and tell them what they're not
And
every
that's
day.
the thing we a lot of black men is missing is telling them why that white police officer want to beat you down and all of that shit. If they knew the truth, these niggas they would not do that. But they ain't been told yet.
You ever notice you don't see a lot of police brutality cases in Los Angeles? Has anybody ever noticed that?
Yeah,
Why is
always
that?
the Midwest or the South.
Okay. Well, okay, so where are the big police brutality cases? Let's pinpoint that.
A lot is in the South. Uh, I only seen like a few in New York, but in the Midwest, Ohio, Tamir,
No, no, New York. New York, I thought was the king of police brutality cases.
Yeah, it's a lot of cases there of
Ohio,
yep, Ohio.
but why not in LA and name other places where we don't have big police brutality cases?